to Mass Appeal tax season. It's coming, and we're here to help you prepare. We're joined by Dylan Bond. He's the owner of Bond Financial Services. We're talking taxes because the deadline is approaching. But people sometimes, when they get ready to retire, they forget that in addition to X amount of dollars that you need to set aside, you have to give a lot to the tax man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first and foremost, tax season never ends. If you're starting today to think about next year's taxes, you'll probably be a lot better off. I don't do taxes. One thing I do recommend for people is to find a tax professional they can trust, someone like Ziemba Tax Services in Chicopee or any other tax preparer out there. But because of what we do and the financial planning that we do for people at or near retirement, it's important that we understand how they affect retirement income, how they affect withdrawals going through retirement, because if you're not paying attention to that, over the course of your lifetime, you could lose a lot of money in unnecessary taxes. And what our job is to try to figure out how to pay our fair share and no more than our fair share.
Now that's it. You just only want to pay what you need to.
Exactly. And some of the more common mistakes that we see a lot of people doing is, you might have somebody that has X amount of dollars in a bank account, in a non-IRA bank account that they're earning maybe 1% on, and they're paying tax on that interest each year. And then they may have the same amount of money in a tax-deferred retirement account. When they decide they want to pay cash for a car, rather than take it out of the low interest-bearing bank account that's being taxed every year, they might take that $30,000 out of a tax-deferred account. They may also be getting pensions and Social Security, so that withdrawal out of their tax-deferred account becomes a taxable event for that whole amount.
Now, is that a question that someone like you can answer? Say we work together, and I'm thinking about buying a car. I could probably call you and say, what the heck should I do in this situation? I have
Absolutely.
So many pools of money.
I'll tell you what, Seth, one of the things that all the families that I work with, when I work with them, one of the things that I stress to them is, it doesn't matter if you're taking money from your bank account down the road from your house or from the accounts that we're managing for you. Call me and let's talk about what you're looking to do and where you're looking to get the money from, because I might be able to see something that you might not be thinking of, and I'd rather have you understand the consequences or the benefits of where you're taking your money from prior to doing it, so that you can make a better decision.
And I think there's something to be said too for having the person who handles your money work in concert with an accountant, because those two people together, it's kind of like a dream team to make sure that nothing slips through the cracks.
Absolutely. I mean, there's really, in my opinion, three basic coaches that you need to have a successful retirement, and that would be a good elder law and estate planning attorney, a good tax professional, and a good financial advisor.
So the dream team.
The dream team, exactly. And again, we work with various different lawyers in the area. We work with various different accountants in the area. But more importantly, my job, as I see it, is when I meet with somebody for the first time, I'm going to sit them down and we're going to go over what they're doing, and we're going to try to identify all the different things that they're doing that they might be able to be a little bit more efficient on. And then by that time, they'll better understand their situation. So then what we can do is put them in front of the right professionals, or if they have their own, I can give their tax person a call or their lawyer a call and give a little bit of a summary of what we're talking about and what we're thinking.
And if people have a trust in you, they'll have an inherent trust in your accountant or the person who you recommend for estate planning, so it's gravy.
Well, gravy's an interesting term, but
I'm thinking about my lunch already. Hey, let's talk about Social Security. What we need to know when it comes to Social Security and our taxes.
Well, again, you know, depending on how much money you make and whether you're filing as an individual or a married couple, if you make past a certain point of money, your Social Security will be taxed. Mm-hmm. If you make between $25,000 and $34,000, you're probably going to pay tax on about half of your Social Security. If you make over $34,000, you're going to pay tax on about 85% of your Social Security. So really, that makes a big difference when you're thinking about, okay, you have your Social Security income. What do you need to take in month by month to pay your bills and expenses? And if your Social Security is not covering it, let's figure out the most efficient way to get that additional income that might not trigger a tax on your Social Security or might not bring you up into a higher tax bracket, which might then force you to pay more taxes over time.
So, for example, sometimes it might not be advantageous if you're collecting Social Security to take that other job once you've retired that pays you enough money to trigger that tax bracket?
You know what, Seth? It's a case-by-case basis. Everybody's situation is different, like a fingerprint. You know, we meet with hundreds and hundreds of people over the last 10, 15 years, and I've never met one person, one family that has the exact same situation as somebody else. That's what makes my job so fun, and I love coming to work every day, is because every day is a different story and a different challenge to figure out.
And now you shine, and people can see how excited you get about finance at your seminars. 30. Can you live 30 years without a paycheck?
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is if you retire today at 60 years old and you're a married couple, you have a high probability of living past 90. So that's about a 30-year plus time frame that you're going to need to finance your own retirement. So the name of our program is called Are You Prepared to Live 30 Years Without a Paycheck? And what we're really talking about there are some of the things that you need to be thinking about, how inflation is going to affect your situation, how taxes will, and also how to create income plans and growth plans to help outpace inflation.
And you have them coming up. We have them in January, February 5th, La Cucina de Hamden House in Hamden. Dylan, it's always a pleasure to have you here.
Good to be here.
And if you need help, you can visit Dylan Bond at bondfinancialservices.net or give him a call, 413-754-4747.